Well, hi there, and where are you watching us from? Welcome to HerStandards. My name is Queen Tambori. Today I am extremely excited. We're having an exciting show. We've lined up an exciting show for you. Remember, we always say this is the show that connects you to women. You need to know this is the show that profiles women, role models, and what you always say is you never know. They could be young, they could be older. And the reason why I'm extremely excited about today is because we have the youthful generation with us. Today, I'm joined by a team from Lila. Lila is Ladies in Leadership Association. But before we get to know more about them, let me tell you a bit about where we are hosted today. We are actually at Kofisi at 9 West in Westlands. Kofisi is basically a co-working space based in Nairobi. When you come here, what will you find? You'll find flexible desks, you'll find private offices, you'll find dedicated working spaces, and you'll also find complimentary tea and coffee for all members. Remember, if you want to know more about Kofisi, all you need to do is just log on to their website at kofisi.africa. One more thing about Kofisi is that there are actually 6 centers in Nairobi. We'll find them in Westlands, we'll find them in Riverside, we'll find them in Upper Hill, and we'll also find them in Karen. And that's not all. They have gone regional. We'll find them in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll also find them in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Now, if you want to know more about the amazing space, remember, I've said log on to their website at kofisi.africa. This is the show. This is where you get your weekly dose of inspiration. And of course, if you have a question, you have a comment, there's a topic that you want us to discuss, all you need to do is just log on to our websites at KTN Home. We are available across all socials on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also hit me up at Queen Tambori on the same socials. We'll be very excited to get in touch with you. Now, without much ado, allow me to introduce this amazing panel. And by the way, we are also joined by a live audience. Please say hi and scream. We'd like to hear your voices. Now, when I say when women come together, great things happen. Okay, let's try that again. When women come together,
great things happen.
When women come together,
great things happen.
Thank you so much. We're very excited to have you and feel at home. Today I am joined by Ladies in Leadership Association, but also known as Lila. Lila was established launched officially on the 7th of October. I am very happy because I was also in the crowd. I was invited and I honored the invite. I was very excited because these young women who are basically in universities here in Kenya are doing amazing things in terms of gender equality and impacting the society. On the panel, I have the founder and I also have the co-founder. The founder is Margaret Muchoki, who is also the Deputy President, Daystar University Students Association. Can you clap for her, please? And then, of course, joining us is also the co-founder and treasurer of Lila. She's called Sylvia Munyao. Karibu sana, madam.
Thank you.
Let's clap for her. So on this show, when we have special episodes such as this, we allow people to introduce themselves because the audience would like to hear your voice. So who do I start with? Ladies first. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. My name is Sylvia Munyao. I am the Lila treasurer, as well as the DUSA, Daystar University Students Association treasurer. I am more than happy to be here and seeing a beautiful audience. Very happy to be here. And thank you.
Karibu sana. One word to describe how you're feeling?
Excited. Yeah, I'm feeling excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Are you on social media?
Yes, I am. On Facebook, Instagram at Sylvia Munyao.
Awesome.
Yes.
And of course, I know Margaret will tell us more about the social media platforms for Lila as she introduces herself. Madam Deputy President. Yeah? People are saying we don't have female deputy presidents in this country, and one is right here with us. A round of applause. Karibu sana, Maggie. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you so much, Quinta, for having us on your show. we can see you dressed in our colors. You really supporting us.
We
are adapting you.
I tried.
So my name is Margaret Mushoki. I'm the founder, Lila, Ladies in Leadership Association. I am also the Deputy President of Daystar University Students Association. I was yesterday appointed as the Youth Senator for Nyeri County at the Youth Senate Kenya. So, yeah.
Wow. How are you feeling about all of this? What's happening?
I feel honored. I feel blessed because it's an inspiration that you can be anything you want to be. And I like to say it that dream big, because if you dream small, you'll achieve that and you'll be like, why didn't I dream bigger? So I feel like it's a more message to me to keep dreaming bigger and to know that nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
As you keep dreaming, where do you see yourself ending up?
Who knows, maybe the president of Kenya.
We definitely can't wait. Are you on socials?
Yes, I'm on social media, on Facebook at Margaret Mushoki, on Instagram as Margaret Mushoki, on Twitter at its_Meg. And Lila is also on social media at Lila_Daystar on all social media platforms and on TikTok as well. Yeah.
You guys are looking very nice in your branded t-shirts.
Thank you.
I feel left out.
We'll get you one. We'll get you one.
Yeah. Awesome. Now let's talk about Lila. We want to talk about so much, by the way, but yes. Lila is just, I think everyone who's watching at home is wondering, what are these young women doing about leadership? What are they doing on HerStandards? And one of the reasons why we have you on the show today is because we want to talk about Lila. Lila, as I mentioned, is Ladies in Leadership Association. Where did that name come from? No, before the name, where did the idea come from?
So the idea came from this year, as you've had Sylvia is also the treasurer of Daystar University. So when we were vying for politics, there were some challenges we were facing just because by nature we are women. There's just that immediate discrimination, you know, they feel like, oh, you're not even doing this, you're here because you're beautiful. And of course we are beautiful ladies. So we felt like there were so many challenges we were going through earlier this year in February. So we made a pact and we told each other that when we get into leadership, we're going to establish an association for ladies just to mentor them in leadership, to encourage them so that they feel like there's someone who is holding their hands, because we missed that in our time and it was really difficult for us. So we tried coming up with names, then we were like, we want to mentor them in terms of leadership. We want to grow their leadership because we are leaders, and we felt like everyone is a leader, but they just need to be nurtured so that that leadership sprouts out. So we decided to make it a Ladies in Leadership Association. Yeah.
You were elected Deputy President of Daystar Student Union this year.
Yeah, this year in April.
Yeah.
And you were also elected Treasurer.
Yes.
How was that experience for you?
It was very interesting because Margaret and I, we saw that whatever it is, the challenges that the men were facing, it was not the same as us. And we didn't really have someone to go to and be like, this is what we are facing as ladies who are trying to get into leadership. And, you know, the men, they'll be like, these ones are just emotional, you know. Because there was so much going on. It's pressure, you really have to put work into it. And just as she said, we made a pact, even with the other ladies that were trying to get into these seats. And we even told them, regardless of you getting in or not, we're still going to hold you. We're going to hold each other. And we're going to give other ladies a platform where they can be mentored, educated, and be able to get into those other leadership spots.
What exactly were you going through?
Well, apart from the gender discrimination, there's the aspect of she's probably not smart because she's beautiful. So she thinks because she's beautiful, that's what she's bringing to the table. Which, okay, as she said, we are beautiful, but that's not all that we come with. We are smart, we're doing good in our classes, we're doing good at home. We are role models out here, even before getting into those leadership positions. So I'd say the basis of looking at the appearance was really, personally, I'd say I got some comments on why does she think she'll get this because she's pretty? Does she think votes are given out of appearance? And that would be one thing that affected us. Another thing would be finances. We are young ladies, we are not working, so it's not easy to...
Were the men working?
Okay, the men were not working, but you know, there's the wanaume hustlers.
Oh, okay.
So it seems like they don't have money. What do they have to offer us for them to give them the votes? Yeah. So I'd say that's another thing. And we want to show that you don't need this to small things to get to those places. You just need your dedication. We're going to give you someone to support you, and you're going to make it, so long as you believe in yourself. Just as she said, you need to dream big, because when you dream small, that's what you'll get. Yeah. Well
said, Sylvia. Maggie, why do you think women are often judged harshly, or they're not given, like, the society doesn't use the same yardstick as men? For example, you just told me when you were doing the elections, there was so much focus on your beauty as opposed to your content or what you were bringing on the table. Why do you think that happens, and what can we do about it?
I feel like, first of all, it's our culture as Africans, and probably nature has a role in it, a small role. But I feel like also men feel intimidated by women who are outspoken, by women who want to go for leadership, because they view women as a threat instead of taking it as it's going to be an equality. They're bringing resources, they're bringing the leadership. Like, for instance, right now, if you look at our current government, there are things that we have brought as women that are making our government be viewed in a way that it wasn't before, because we are bringing value to the table, but they don't see it that way, and they try to shut us down. It's just in the culture of men. They feel like, why are you taking this? You're coming here to take this. So if I'm a deputy president, someone else can be president. If I'm president, I'm not stopping any other position from being vied for. But I feel like what we should do is to keep on letting men know that we are not here to fight them. We are here to say, if two people from maybe one household both have the same opportunities, that's a double income. That's a social status for both of them. That means that the woman is empowered and she doesn't have to keep borrowing the man money. That means if I have my own money, I don't have to keep asking for a man to give me fare, my salon, and those kinds of things. Then he can develop the family, and that's just sharing. Yeah.
When we work together, when we cooperate, actually, we all win. I think that's what Maggie is saying. Before we get to meet the live audience, I can see they're yearning. They have very interesting points. You know, they want to contribute to the debate, to the discussion. Sylvia, why did you decide to join Daystar University Students Association? Why?
It's actually an interesting story.
Yeah, we have the time.
Because at first, that was not the position that I wanted. I wanted to vie as a congressman in my school of business, of which I felt like maybe I don't want it that much. And then I remember there's a friend of mine who also wanted to vie, and he told me, you cannot get this congress position just because you think you're pretty. And he told me that he'll be the one to get it. And I said, okay, it's okay. So after thoughts, and I had another friend of mine, a former congressman, approach me and told me that he saw potential in me. And we talked about the vying, which position, and at that point I was convinced I could get that position as the treasurer in DUSA. And I worked hard with the support of Meg and the team that we had, and ensured that we've gotten that position, because as you can see, I'm in a position to tell other girls, it doesn't matter what people are telling you, you can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. So that's how I was driven into vying for the seat.
For the seat. And congratulations. I think you're inspiring the next generation of young women. Now, if you're just joining us, this is HerStandards, and of course, today we are in the company of amazing young women. They call themselves Ladies in Leadership Association, also known as Lila, not Lila. Lila, there's a difference. Huh? This is Lila is actually an independent, non-political, non-profit, ladies-run empowerment organization that was founded at Daystar. But that doesn't mean that the membership is solely for students of Daystar. Am I right, Maggie?
Yes.
Who else is part of Lila?
When we came up with Lila, the idea was born in Daystar, but we had a vision to take it outside to other universities because we also felt that there was a vacuum as leaders first. Of course, we had to think about ourselves, we thought, and we realized there was a vacuum in university student leadership. Ladies at this level, when they clear university, what is going to be next for them? And we felt like we have to involve all these other universities, so it's open. Today here we have the Deputy President of Corporate University, Zamzam Bonaya. We have representatives from St. Paul, we have Tangaza University, we have Strathmore University. So Daystar is just the hub where it was born, but we are spreading our wings across all universities that are coming on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
What activities? There's so many questions. What activities are you doing as Lila, and how are you involving the other institutions?
Okay, I can give an example
Yeah.
of the launch that we had.
Yeah.
If you notice, it was not just a launch, it was a launch and a conference. So it was basically like a mentorship program, which is one of the things that we do. And we had invited all other universities, and you don't have to be necessarily from the university, you can just come. It was open to everyone. We're doing health programs to sensitize on reproductive health, because we see that that is a problem that is really affecting the ladies. We're also doing education on democracy for ladies to know their rights, how policies are made, how to really know, they ujue everything, you know. And yeah, that's basically most of what we do.
Most of the activities that you
Yeah.
do. Okay, so I would like to shift the focus a bit to my amazing audience. Please clap for yourselves. Who are they're majorly members of Lila. We have different members from universities across Kenya. We have Strathmore, we have Cooperative University.
Yeah, we have
Tangaza,
St. Paul's.
St. Paul's. So welcome to HerStandards. Where is the mic? Okay, so the motto for Lila is an empowered lady, an empowered world. Am I right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start with the lady who is dressed like me. Mm-hmm. Please introduce yourself fully, including your social media handles, and briefly tell us what this means to you. What does being empowered mean to you?
My name is Zamzam Bonaya. I'm
Yes.
the Vice President of the Cooperative University of Kenya, the only university that cooperates. Yes. I'm also the co-chair of the National Muslim Leaders Forum Youth Wing. Aside from that, I'm also a peace ambassador. Yeah, I've worked closely with universities and colleges, Peace Association, Kenya, USPAC, and also other organizations towards promoting peace during the political time. My social media handle, I'm usually very active on Twitter. It's Zamzam Bonaya. Yes. So basically, being empowered, I think it's the greatest gift a girl can get, a lady to be precise, yeah? Because when we look at the Kenyan standards, or rather Africa, we find that the girl child is quite at a disadvantage. My hometown is in Isiolo. I come from the interior parts of Isiolo. It's called Gotu. It's a really small village. When you know, most of us we take it for granted to be empowered. You know, we take it for granted that once you're from primary school, it's so definite you're going to be in high school, and then it's so definite you definitely have to go to university. But these are not the privileges that other young girls get to face. They don't get such a chance to go to universities, or rather even finish their primary school. So basically, when I come from a society like that, empowerment is so intimate to me, and it's so personal to me, you know. Yeah, being empowered, being encouraged right from like getting out of the house, and your dad tells you, you know, you're really beautiful, just, you know, keep going, you know. We have girls out there who have not even gotten out of their villages, You know, they don't even know how Nairobi looks like. They get shocked when you tell them, you know, there are girls who go to universities. You know, we have a lady who's a lawyer. Yeah. So empowerment, it's the greatest gift a woman, a young girl, a lady can get. Yes.
Thank you so much, Zamzam. My panelists say that talked about some of the challenges they faced when they were when they declared their ambition of joining the University Student Association. Have you encountered any such discrimination? Because you have mentioned, I can't even remember everything you have said, but you're wearing so many hats. How did you manage to get where you are?
Thank you so much for the question. Actually, I can say I didn't have an easy time, because we have this stereotype that, you know, a lady, you cannot lead. It will take a university a lot of years for a university to have a female president and whatnot, you know. So when I was freshman, I vied for the delegate position. So I got the position. So later on, I decided to vie for presidency. I can tell you, that was one of my toughest times in life, because, you know, you're really struggling, and literally you have something to bring on the table. You're confident, you will market the institution quite well, you know. It's not even about the institution, it's about now the environment, or rather the male chauvinism, to be precise, you know. So I had a difficult time. To a point, I was, okay, you know, like the way guys can objectify you, you know, and they're like, you know, Bedeshi, just like what Sylvia said. Aside from that, I also had difficulty to, it was quite difficult to even, you know, resources play a major role when it comes to vying for positions, because, you know, you need to mobilize students, you need to call for meetings, and, you know, ukiita meeting, watu hawatakula story peke yake, wanataka wakule food pia, you know. So you also have to, in a way, get sodas for them and whatnot. Holding a campaign, it's something that is not easy. So the major challenge I also faced was, so when I reached out to potential people who would help me out in giving me resources so that I can get to campaign, you find that they want something more from you. They don't even know what you're bringing to the table, or, you know, they just like see, you know, you're so pretty and whatnot. So for me to get to support you, you also have to help me. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, you know. It was one of a moment for me, because we had like a previous president, he was male, and these guys supported him. So why is it that when it reaches my turn, I also have to sort you? You know, it's so painful. Yeah. So actually I was like, you know what? It's not that this position is that important for me to like shed my dignity for this. I'm actually going to give my level best. Because, you know, when you're vying for a position, there are only two outcomes. You either win or you lose. But in politics, you never lose, because you keep on gaining. You get the experience and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I think we're very proud of everything that you did. I'm sure you're encouraging the next generation. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We would like to take a short break and pay some bills. We will be right back. Welcome back to HerStandards with me, Queen Tambori. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us. I want to toss the question to the lady in blue. A lot of times, and this happens, I know it happens in universities, it also happens in real world, that we have the male gender or male counterparts. They tend to focus so much on working together and coordinating with one another. And therefore, they end up forming things called boys' clubs, all right? Do you think that having an equivalent of that in form of girl clubs will be meaningful in terms of developing the leadership skills, developing our capacities as women? I'll give you a case in point is Lila. It looks to me like a nice association, but it's also a girl club because this is where we're able to discuss our issues, no holds barred. We let our hair down. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Arthur F. Yunan.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO and founder of Telex app.
Please clap for her.
I'm also the face of Writers Guild Kenya. And being a lady in tech, I've been in a lot of spaces where you tend to get overlooked because people don't actually know what you bring to the table. So you have to be proving yourself over and over again. And I've realized that men tend to have these spaces where they can just bring each other up. And in tech where I work, I've noticed that women have formed coalitions, sort of like, where you bring another woman up. If another woman is being overlooked, you give the attention to them. If another woman is being bashed, you can actually stick together and bring each other up. So in tech, it's actually a thing already. Yeah.
Well said. They say it's one thing to say that women bring each other up, but maybe you're saying that for the camera, sorry. Because
We should support each other.
we need to support each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what normally happens? Let's hear from you. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Daisy Rono. I'm a student at Daystar University. I also serve as the Resource Mobilization Manager at Lila.
Oh.
Yes. I'm also a peace builder. I work with Global Peace Foundation, Kenya. Yes. Thank you for the question. And let me be honest. Let me be real.
Please, let's be real.
I believe it depends on the women. So women can work together. There is the possibility. However, what happens most times is, just man is inherently selfish. So some people can tend to try to put the other person down just so to get their way up. It's like they want to shine on their own. But there's also the other side of the women that want others to succeed, I don't want to be at the top alone. It's lonely up there. I want to go up with people. So it really depends on the work ethic and also the different personalities. But I can say we are getting better as women, because also society from back then, other women cannot give other women positions to lead, even in government. Like even in my own village, in Kericho, you can hear someone say atupe your mama. Atuwezi pea mama akwe MP or something. But we are getting better because women empowerment has become a thing. So women are slowly believing in each other as they also believe in themselves. So we are getting better. We are not there yet, but we are doing it one step at a time.
A step in the right direction.
Yes.
A step in the right direction.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we have living testimonies right here on my panel. I want to come back to them, actually. Maggie, how hard was it for you to become the deputy president of Daystar University Student Association? Were you able to audit your voters? Who voted for you more? Were they the male students or the female students? I'm curious.
Wow, that's a hard one. But you see, with this kind of system where you have delegates and now you have to choose a running mate. Now you are someone's running mate. So I don't like to call myself a vice because a vice is someone who's just picked. But as a deputy, you have worked for that. So given we have two campuses, Nairobi and Athi River, I was based in Nairobi and my president was based in Athi River. So at times I couldn't show up for meetings there because I had so many classes and all that. So the challenges were like, huyo tu ni flower girl. She's just there. We've never met that vice president, that deputy we want to elect. But when I realized that that is what was happening and people were feeling like, especially in Athi River, that I am just a flower girl. So I started to show up and I proved to them that I'm going to make this come home. And actually my campus voted more for us than the other campus, where people felt like we were not campaigning and we had sleepless nights. There's a time that our opposers had planned to kidnap me or something. It was really serious. Yeah, it was so serious. I couldn't. Yeah, it is so intense that I couldn't walk alone. So this guy used to keep calling me, not really security, but I had to walk with a group of people so that I don't leave school late, because they could. At some point, I lost my stuff, my laptop, my phones, and everything. It was so intense, and then now people started to realize that, oh, I was actually going to bring something to the table. So I felt like it was a motivation for me to prove to them, you know what, actually I will do it and I will do it better. So towards the election day, I remember our opposition told their congressmen and their delegates, please don't pick her calls, because she's going to convince you to vote for them and we want you guys. So that morning when I tried to call them, they were not picking up. So I was like, oh my goodness, so strong. So after the elections, we were like, we're told not to pick your calls because you are going to convince us like you had done before. So it was just an encouraging when I was like, you know what, actually we could have gone for presidency, you would have made it. But yeah, that's my journey.
That is your journey.
Yeah.
Where? This is the point where we say, where? But we have to do it. Actually, there are women who have done it. As I was preparing for this show, I realized there's so many other women who have broken the glass ceiling in university politics. I'm talking about people like, of course, Maggie is here, Sylvia is here, Irene Kendi, yes. We have Anne Mvuria, we have Angeline Omwamba, there are several others. What do you think they know that the rest of us who are still struggling to join leadership positions don't know? Sylvia?
Okay, I'd say one thing that they probably know that we don't is how well they've understood themselves. Because I feel like when you understand yourself and you know this is what I want, this is what I'm made of, and this is what I bring, there is nothing that can be brought to you as a challenge that you will not be able to just easily tackle. And I feel like that's why they are where they are today, because they've fully understood this is who I am as Sylvia, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and no one can shake me, no rumors, no allegations, nothing. And I feel like that's something they've put in themselves that has gotten them where they are today. Yes.
Did you hear that? Why are you not clapping? Anyway, so now we have talked about the flowery, rosy bits about, Lila and women in campus. But then, elsewhere, the image, when you talk about campus girl in Kenya, the image that many people have is not very pleasant. And one aspect of that is the fact that the campus girl in Kenya is associated with some negativity. Some people call them the gold digger. Some people say they actually, they get their grades horizontally. Okay, we've heard about issues of sex for grades, isn't it? And then there's, of course, the sponyo, the mubaba culture. When you talk about the campus girl, that also comes up, right? Maggie, how is Lila going to try to rebrand the Kenyan campus girl to represent who she really is?
So,
just a minute, my audience should also be ready with answers for that, because I want to hear from as many people as possible. Yes, Maggie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. So first of all, before I answer that question, let me just take you back to what Lila is about. It's about empowering young ladies who have come together in mastery of different fields. So it's not just about politics or leadership, because when we say leadership, people feel like, oh, it's just political and governance. Leadership in the marketplace, in business, in media, like you are, like Oprah, people like Julie Gish. We want to have people who are empowered in every kind of area they want to venture into, and that's why we have mentorship. And that's one of the reasons actually why Lila is found, and why we do currently, I think Sylvia didn't mention that we have monthly trainings on those kinds of areas, how to make it to that place where you are. You know, to just we have values that we don't want to be associated with that kind of campus girl who goes to steal people's husbands. And that's why we are here trying to just show the ladies that you can do it. You know, like you don't have to be under someone to, like the way Zam has said, that you can stand up as and say that I don't have to sleep with a man so that I can become president. There is another way. She failed that time. Today she's the deputy. But you see, if she had put her dignity down, even that presidency would not have been as genuine. So we want to show young ladies that we are doing it. And we have turned down some opportunities. I talk with Zai and some ladies from different universities because they're my friends as leaders. And I tell them that at times there's this opportunity that we want, but someone has said, Meg, you have to come and meet me at a certain place so that I can, you know, if you're not doing that, people have approached me. Like, men have the audacity to tell you to their face that if you don't sleep with me, we're not going to take Lila to this place. We're not going to help you meet so and so. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, you can stay with that. You will see us there where we want to be, and we will not have slept with someone. So it's the values. Wow. So it's the values that we are trying to instill as we mentor. So we also have mentorship programs for high school. As Daystar University goes to market our high school in those girls' school where they tell people to come to Daystar, we do a mentorship program because we want to instill these values in them when they're still young, because when they're in campus, it's not easy to change. And we show ourselves as examples. We tell them that you don't have to sleep with someone for something, but when you know exactly what you are and you have invested in yourself, that you bring value to the table, people will overlook sex. People will overlook those kinds of things. And you see, in the long run, sponsorship is not sustainable. You know, there's diseases, there's pregnancy, there is your dignity, there's the integrity. Yeah, so I think I've answered your question.
Yes,
have
you have done extremely well.
Thank you, thank you.
Let me go back to the audience. Do you think that campus girls have lowered their standards?
Okay, my name is Lois Jagaro. I'm a student leader at Tangaza University. I'm a mental health advocate and also an innovation leader. Okay, as far as I've seen, the campus girls have reduced themselves simply because there's that notion, they believe that for me to get there, I have to like sleep with this guy, I have to do this. But this is because they are not educated, is out of ignorance. So that's why I believe in empowerment, where we train these young ladies. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's have the mic on the front.
My name is Joy Kian. I'm a student at this university. Okay, according to the suggestion that you have made, I can say that most of the girls do things, or women do, because of peer influence in the universities. So most of them lower their dignity and they lose focus on what have brought them to the universities. So like girls start using drugs, and then they start that issues of watching pornographic videos. So like when, for example, you have brought your decision that you want maybe to become a lawyer or you want to be a journalist in future, you end up in your third year, you have lost the focus. So I can tell you that we as women, we are powerful. It all depends on your decision and you be focused in life. I really appreciate the Lila organization to empower many women. Most of them would like to have this opportunity so that they can be able to gain more courage to overcome the challenges in this country. But thank you so much. I would really appreciate the continue working together and the continue fighting. Thank you.
Wow, I would also love that very much. You to introduce yourself, please tell me, she's talked about peer pressure. Do you think that social media is to blame for the peer pressure that university students are experiencing? Have we run out of female role models?
My name is Abigail Mutaka. I'm a student at Daystar University. I serve at Lila under the capacity of events coordinator. Events manager. Yes. And so to answer the question, social media has really changed over the years. Every day it's every day it's changing. So is there peer pressure from social media? Definitely. Is there positive and negative peer pressure? Definitely. And each and every time you enter, you'd find people in school. I'd give the example. In the corridors, they're like, today I'm not entering Instagram. I just saw somebody, they bought a house. Another person today, they've gotten a job. I don't know how I can manage with this. And then they get the notion where I should get a sponsor. I should be able, to go sleep around with men so that they can facilitate and get the latest phone, the latest, dress, to go to the latest places. And still on the same social media platform, there are women who are empowering the rest of us. I can give examples of, there's Janet Mbogwa, who's always constantly, empowering women on her social media platforms. I'm using the example of Instagram over here because all of us, if I'm assuming not all, are on Instagram. And so you'd find that I always see people, there's this podcast called TMI Podcast, and they're always encouraging ladies, and they're always tackling questions about how a lady should be or what they're facing at the particular moment, and encouraging them on how we should be together as a community. And I'm so excited about Lila and how it's going to be empowering other ladies, because it's going to teach us that we can also do the same thing and coexist together and hold each other's hands, not pulling each other down.
All the time. Oh yeah, finances, resources seems to be a big problem, and it seems to be a defining factor for women. We have Madam CS Treasurer right here. What is Lila going to do to ensure that our members, our women, our young women, are economically empowered, so we don't end up, we rebrand ourselves. We don't end up being called, husband snatchers and engaging in all forms of activities that are actually painting us in a very bad light. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that we are planning to do as Lila, as she said, we're going to be having monthly mentorship programs or workshops. And we said that we're going to enlighten girls in all the sectors, be it agriculture, business, anything that you want to be enlightened about, we're going to do it. So we're definitely going to be having money talks. We bring people who are experienced in the field, especially ladies. They tell the girls, this is how you can invest, this is how you can buy shares, this is how you can save your salary, this is how you can save your little pocket money. And that way, women will know how to go about this in the outside world. They'll be knowing, okay, these are the benefits of buying shares, these are the benefits of putting my money in a certain bank. So you don't have to have done business to know these things. So this is just a really good platform where you get to learn more than what you've already done in school. So that is one of the ways we can empower women to be money-minded and to be money-wise. Yes.
Now, other than economic empowerment, some of the thematic areas of Lila include democracy, communities, youth, gender equity, peace, and so on and so forth. I want to bring attention to Madam Founder here and talk about a very pertinent issue that we have seen happen in campuses, and that is femicide. We've seen a lot of women end up losing their lives through domestic violence, and I think that is one area that Lila focuses on. If I could just mention a few of them, we have incidences. I know this one is still in court. Sharon Otieno, we lost Christine Ambani, we've lost Macrina Chieng, you know them, they're your colleagues. We've lost Ivy Wangeshi, who was in Moi University. Yes, so what is the game plan for Lila in terms of creating awareness around sexual and gender-based violence in campus? Because the numbers are far too many.
So first of all, it's the training. We have gender-based violence. I'm also actually a trained person on gender-based violence. I've done psychology and I'm a certified clinical counselor. So it's one. It's one of the areas. So we have experts in line to come and do the training, to share the information. And I think we cannot separate that from economic empowerment, because most of these young ladies are going through that because maybe they want money from this man. They have to desperately stay with a man who is hitting them because the man is also giving them money. So one of the ways also is that we are doing mentorship programs where, like CAS Nadia promised to take 30 people. She mentors them. When she mentors them, she also gives them opportunities, if it's jobs, if it's internships, so that they have the mentality that I can do this, and with the little money that I have, you know. So we are not just talking to them, we give them opportunities where they can grow financially, and we give them information about gender-based violence. We are going to do the training. So we'll be inviting people even from other universities and people who share those kinds of stories, so that they can know that you're not supposed to stay. You know, like someone like Janet Mbogo has been coming outrightly and saying you can't go through this. And we also need to make young women know that life is not just about relationships, because we're so focused on relationships that we forget to invest in ourselves, that you can go for. And young people don't realize that the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. So these men that you're hanging on to right now, because you feel like they have money, as you go higher, you get someone better. As you go higher, but what it takes is that you invest in yourself, so that you go higher, that you meet men who are up here. They respect you because you have your own money, and they will not be coming to violate you even mentally, because they feel like you're bringing something to the table. Nikicheza utaenda na mwingine. But now when you have not empowered yourself, when you have not empowered yourself, you're desperate. You're clinging to this person even when you know that this person can end up killing you. For instance, when, I'm sorry to say, but when that lady, she's Sharon, the one from Migori County, you see, we are told that she was given a home in Nairobi. She said, no, I don't want a home. I want more money. So some people are not even getting that home. But you see, it's the desperation, it's that need, because you really want to cling on someone, and you feel like someone owes you. By the way, no one owes you anything. Even your parents do not owe you. It gets to a place you have to take responsibility of your own life and try to build yourself, because no one can do it for you, so that you don't go making men feel like they owe you anything, because that's where the patriarchy comes in, because they feel like, actually I owe you this, you feel like I owe you this, so I will use you and trample you down because you need me. Yeah.
Okay. Sylvia, do you think that your colleagues are informed enough in terms of some of the choices that they can make regarding their dating life in campus? Because we know that is when things happen. That is when people are accused of eating fair. Mm? Yes. Do you think we are empowered enough?
I believe that, I do believe we are empowered enough to know that, first of all, I'm sure you know hakuna kitu tamu kama kukula pesa yako. There's nothing as
Is that
sweet.
true?
Yes.
We all know that.
Yes. Something that you have worked hard for, you feel so good knowing I'm using my money. No one is asking me for anything. So when it comes to relationships, you go in knowing, me, I have my, you have yours. If you want to give me, that is out of your own seeing, this is gratitude you're showing me, or it's love or whatever. But it doesn't mean now that as a lady now I'm like, okay, this is my man, he has money, so he should be giving me money and whatnot. So we should focus on having our own, so that tusione another person has it, so I need to have it because they are my partner. And I believe with such a platform, the way we've talked about the campus girls, they need to be shown that you can have your own, you can get your own, you have to work hard to get your own, and it feels really good to actually sustain yourself on your own. Now that's when you'll actually find someone who's stable and you mnapendana vizuri. Yes.
Zam, you're holding the mic. What we are talking about, just being self-aware in terms of your expectations, relationships, finances. When you jump out of campus, what is your expectation of the real world? What do you expect?
Oh, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
My expectation of the real world, campus itself, it's not easy. because sometimes as you become a senior, when you're a freshman, your parents, they give you more pocket money and whatnot, so as time goes by, in a way you get independent, or rather you uplift them, the responsibilities that they have. So my expectation of the outside world, aside from university, I know it's not going to be easy, but university has given me some lessons that I know I will apply out here. As far as economy is concerned, I know I have to work so hard. As far as my ambitions are concerned, I know I have to work really hard with dedication, sincerity, and being genuine. My goal is to, Mahatma Gandhi says you should be the change you want to see in the world. For me, when my time from the world comes, I'd want someone to ever say, by the way, she ever impacted me in something. She empowered me. That's why we are so dedicated in Lila, to be able to create change, to impact change, and to be paragons of virtues. Because we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to Kenya, we owe it to Africa, and we owe it to the whole world.
We're about to wind up. I just want to get the final thoughts of my panelists as we come we draw this to a close. Let me start with you, Sylvia. Do you have any political ambitions? Elective politics?
As of now, no. But it's not an idea I'm close-minded to. In future, I might just. So watch out.
It might just happen.
It might just happen. Awesome. But as of now, it's not my goal. My goal is to mostly business. At the end of the day, I'm going to be a CEO. So I have to. I'm going to start there first. Yeah, and God, if God shows me that I can do that, I'll do it. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to HerStandards.
Thank you.
Maggie, as we finish, what would you tell the people who are holding power right now about equipping women with, opportunities and leadership skills, like what you're doing at Lila? Just confess the camera and just speak to them. Speak your mind. Jiachilie.
So I'd like to tell the people who are in leadership that if you look at the spaces we have right now, the reason why we created Lila, it's because we can see that there's a vacuum. And the vacuum is too loud because if you look at the recently done elections, we had to have someone like Martha Karua, not as a way of disrespecting her, but she's a bit older, yet we could have considered other people younger because we are falling short of young people mentored by these politicians. So wherever these leaders are, the likes of Aisha Jumwa, the likes of Beatrice Elachi, the likes of Alice Wahome, all these ladies who hold these high positions, the likes of Mercy Cherono from KEPSA, hold someone's hand, mentor someone, mentor a young girl that you'd like to take that position, and don't see young girls as threats, because there's this tendency of older women having patriarchy where they tell young women, oh, please wait, we also waited, or oh, don't speak out when there are men, because you are the one who is also dimming the lights of these young people. And don't allow us to go through the struggles that you have gone through. God has placed you in that place so that you can hold our hand, so that your children and your children's children find a better Kenya where young women are empowered, and we will not have to come and steal your husbands or go around doing nasty things with older men when we are empowered. It is happening because we are not being empowered, we are not being mentored, and no one is holding our hand.
And with that, I don't have anything else to add. We come to the end of HerStandards. I have been your host. My name is Quintambori. I am always very grateful for your company, for keeping it here from the start to end of this program, your favorite show where we give you a dose of inspiration. Today, we were in the company of Lila. Lila simply means Ladies in Leadership Association. We were hanging out with the founder and the co-founder and some members of Lila. Thank you so much for keeping it here. If you have any comments, you have any questions, remember, the show doesn't stop here. Let us meet on the socials at KTN Home, at Quintambori. You can also hit up our producer. She's called Grace Waweru. Let's continue this conversation. In case you want to know where we are hosted, we are at Kofisi 9 West. Kofisi is a co-working space based in Nairobi. What do you find here? You'll find flexible desks, private offices, dedicated working spaces, complimentary tea and coffee for all members. But for more information, of course, you can log on to their website at kofisi.africa. These people are available in 6 centers here in Nairobi, Westlands, Riverside, Upper Hill, as well as Karen. But just in case you're in the diaspora, you can also find them in Lagos, Nigeria, and of course, in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. These are our neighbors. Without much ado, let me end here. We will see you next week, same time, same place. It's bye for now.